5 Unusual People in the World, Part 89. Hello everyone, I'm Keisha, and have a great day. Every year, millions of people became the victim to real medical mysteries that go undiagnosed or misdiagnosed for years. Their lives are thrown into a turmoil as medical professionals struggled to make sense of their confusing condition. Are you ready? Let's begin. Body swelling is associated with many causes. Many will experience swelling on the body after some health problems, so detect it as soon as possible. If you have a disease, it must be properly improved to keep the body healthy. Number 5. Jamila Coleman. Jamila Coleman, born in 1992 from Georgia, USA, has unusually larger feet than anyone in this world. Her feet are even as big as an elephant's, weighing up to 150 pounds. But it's not something to be proud of. It's due to a strange rare disease that causes her legs to swell to the point of being bedridden for 4 years. According to the doctors, she suffered from lymphedema syndrome caused by a mutation in the FOXC gene, which didn't pose a problem to her as a child. But by the age of 18, it had dealt a severe blow to her. Her legs became so swollen that she couldn't get out of bed and had to be looked after by her mother and sister. What's worse, she can't claim sickness benefit or health insurance because her father has lost his job. Until one day, her skin started peeling and her foot became so infected with bacteria that her leg broke. The wound was 19-inch long and bleeding. At that time, the family couldn't do anything to improve her condition, so it was imperative that she went to the doctor. There, the doctor said she would die if she waited any longer. An operation was carried out. Doctors removed 120 pounds of flesh and blisters, which was up to 3 feet wide below the knee. After nearly 4 years of seeing the world through the window, her health has recovered. She is able to learn to walk after rehabilitation and is determined to create a new life. We all don't pay much attention to our bodies until something different happens, but there are people who really dream of it. Number 4. Epiphane. Epiphane, born in 2005, has a very strange body. Although this girl has been 17 years old, her body is not as developed as other teenage girls. She has an extremely thin body and an arched back. From the moment she was born, she was physically debilitated. Epiphane has kyphosis, a spinal disorder that causes the upper back to arch excessively, according to medical experts. In the vast majority of cases, these spinal abnormalities cause only minor problems. However, in Epiphane's case, it got worse, causing various complications. With the disease she is suffering from, she lives in isolation to avoid contact with others, a life she considers to be hell. According to her, people bullied and caused her trouble whenever they saw her. In one way or another, she always receives disparagement for this difference. They even call her Bug. The disease also leaves her feeling pain all over her body. She is likely have to drop out of school, despite her dreams of becoming a doctor. Her parents also can't continue to pay her school fees as they are so poor. Their house may even be swept away by flood at any time. If you want to help her, I have the support link below in the description of the video. We can't predict what will happen to us in the future. It may be a sad story or a joy. The following woman is truly pitiful. Number 3. Sapphira. Sapphira, an African woman born in 1952, has a strange face because of tumors on her face. She has had to live almost her entire life with it. The tumor even affects her knees as well as other parts on her body. After all treatments failed, she and her parents decided that she would have to live with the condition. She was born normal, but at 16, while at school, her current condition began. She was unable to continue her studies due to this condition. She and her parents have sought treatment in many places, but with inadequate and less modern medical conditions, doctors had no methods. Her parents died. She became lonely. Not a single man cared about her because of her condition. Unable to stand the rejection of men, at the age of 35, Safira decided to use deception to force a drunk man to sleep with her so that she could get pregnant and give birth. She gave birth to a beautiful daughter who had no health problems and didn't suffer from the same disease as her. But unfortunately, her daughter couldn't get a job because of her lack of formal education. In order to avoid depending on the kindness of the neighbors to survive, Safira and her daughter engaged in farm work behind the house. Have you ever heard of a person with more than 2 legs and 2 arms? There are a few such people in this world, some of whom have been mentioned in my other videos. They still live happily and optimistically. However, this is a heartbreaking story of a child. Number 2. The kid with 4 arms and 4 legs. Savita Devi, a woman from Bihar, northeastern India, gave birth to an angel on June 23, 2017. The baby has 2 bodies sharing the same head, 4 arms and 4 legs. It's a pity that the child tragically died shortly after being born. She wasn't even given a name. The local doctor told that this was a birth defect, a rare occurrence. During Savita Devi's pregnancy with undeveloped twins, the underdeveloped fetus was absorbed by the other, leading to malformations. Unfortunately, as the child wasn't fully developed, she was too weak for the doctor to intervene to save her life. Due to curiosity, a large number of people gathered outside the hospital in Lakhisarai city to witness this incident. The baby's father said that when his wife was pregnant, they were very careful in every action, hoping for a healthy baby. The baby's deformity was unexpected. However, he believes that giving birth to a deformed child is God's punishment for the sins they committed in a previous life. Although I am deeply saddened by the loss of Savita Devi and his wife, I oppose this because his guilt can't be blamed on the child. The baby's mother was more optimistic. She told reporters, "I was shocked and deeply saddened after listening that her baby died. But on the other hand, she couldn't help thinking that if her baby was alive with such physical deprivation, it would cause great suffering." However, there are a few such children in the world, and they have lived very actively and are loved by many. The modeling profession is quite demanding in terms of appearance. For people with physical disabilities, the possibility of survival in this fierce industry is really slim. However, that doesn't mean it's impossible. Number 1. Ralph Souffrant. Ralph Souffrant was born in 1995 in Haiti, a poor country, then moved to Brooklyn, USA at the age of 9 with his family. His life was spent through an intense childhood before becoming a famous professional model in the world, thanks to his skin like no other, with countless freckles spread all over his body. Since childhood, he suffered from a disease like vitiligo, which affects skin pigmentation. Souffrant disease caused this model to have many dark bruises, quite similar to freckles but larger, spreading all over his body. His strange appearance causes him to be bullied by friends at school. They called him ugly, disgusting. He also couldn't hide it, as freckles were everywhere on his body. Since high school, Souffrant has been passionate about bodybuilding. Thanks to that, he soon had a standard body before entering the profession. The Haitian boy's path to the catwalk received great support from photographers Aaron Taylor. He met Souffrant when he was 13 at the park, and they have been friends ever since. Souffrant has modeled for Aaron Taylor many times. The perennial challenge for any models in the fashion industry is how to be distinguished from all the other pretty faces, but Souffrant has no trouble distinguishing himself. On the contrary, he has inspired many people that every distinctive feature on your body can turn out to be the best. Those are extremely strange and beautiful people. They were born with a difference that made society disparage, but they were strong enough to overcome. God will protect them. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell to watch more interesting videos. And now, goodbye and see you again.